Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, this is not a pen topper. Peninsula Hopper is a 6.5% IPA from Monkey Fist Brewing Company in Traverse City, Michigan. Ring that bell, ding ding! Another first-time brewery to the channel, and this time it's Monkey Fist Brewing Company way up in Traverse City. Now they just started hitting distribution down here in Southeast Michigan, and as you know, I'm always on the lookout for new beer to bring to you guys right here. Monkey Fist describes this IPA as being brewed with locally grown Cascade and Chinook, and then finished with Mosaic and Citra. Now, I'm expecting this one to be a pretty good example of that Midwest IPA that I occasionally talk about and usually enjoy. But let's take a look at the label, and then we'll get it into a glass and get down to the nitty gritty. Fun fact, a monkey's fist is a type of knot and can be used as a self-defense tool. Monkey fist, if that's not right, let me know, please. All right, so let's take a look at the label here. This can reminds me kind of like a throwback label or a throwback beer label. Let's start at the top though. Across the top it says Monkey Fist Brewing Company in Traverse City, Michigan. It has their logo, which is a monkey, and it looks like he's swinging a couple monkey fists around. And on the beer here, on the can, it says Pen Hopper IPA. Now, when I looked up on their website, this is called Peninsula Hopper, so I'm calling it Peninsula Hopper in this video, but the can itself actually says Pen Hopper, and it has a picture of the Mackinac Bridge with all the cables hanging down, and it's the Mackinac Bridge is in gold or like a yellow color with green lines hanging down, and the background is the state. It's an outline of the state of Michigan. And that's really all there is. On the side here, it says brewed by Monkey Fist Brewing Company, LLC in Traverse City. And then it has the government warning. There's not much else on here. Across the bottom, it says 1 pint India Pale Ale, 6.5% alcohol by volume. And I don't see a canned on date, but these guys just literally within the last few days, maybe the last week, has started hitting distribution down here. So I can't imagine that this is too old or that it's been around for too long. And I wanted to say I bought a couple singles of this beer. It was $2.59 a single, so I'm not sure. I think it's sold in, I want to say it's sold actually in those boxes, those 4-pack boxes, where the beer is in a box rather than in one of those, can holders that are plastic on the top or the rings or whatnot. So let me grab a glass here. I'm going to grab a Tiku glass. Let's go ahead and crack this open. We'll get a nose right out of the can like I usually do. All right, let's put a nose on this. Actually not getting a whole lot of hoppy scents out of it or hoppy aroma, but I'm getting a little bit more of a malty aroma out of it actually. You know, somebody recently, I was on a podcast and they asked, why do you is there a reason you put your nose? I can't smell, so that's why I put this so close to my nose. And I like to get the aroma out of the can or out of the bottle and then get it out of the glass. So I get kind of like, you can see how it changes a little bit, but I'm not getting much aroma out of this. Like I said, it's got a little bit more of a malty kind of scent to me directly out of the can. But let's pour this and we'll get a better nose out of the glass. So it's coming out of the can. It's a little bit darker golden, collecting in the glass. It's kind of got a color that you would expect to see out of a IPA. It is a little bit more of a kind of an orange brightness, an orange color to it. And as you can see from the head, really nice, compact, tight bubbles. The head is hanging on there. I got about maybe a finger and a half, 2 fingers worth of head, and it is just sitting there solid. It's not moving. I don't actually see a lot of dissipation around the edge even. The head is just hanging on really nicely, really super compact. As you can see from the overhead, that is like, those bubbles are tiny. The only larger bubbles are the ones from the exit of the pour, but most of this is super compact in the cross section, a little bit larger bubbles. It's a little off-white. It's not bright white. It's not brilliant white, but it's a little bit more of a, maybe a kind of an off-white, maybe tinging a little bit towards like a yellowish tan kind of color. But I think that's mostly from the color of the beer from the bottom. Let's hold this up to the light. And that is a little bit hazy. Actually, I see quite a bit, holding a little bit closer to my eyes. I can see a lot of particulate floating in there. It's not what I would say There's a little bit of condensation. I wouldn't say this is hazy, but it's definitely unfiltered. And I can see the shadow of my fingers as I get them a little bit closer. I can see a little bit more detail on my fingers. But yeah, that is definitely has a lot of particulate floating in there. So let's get, and the head is even still hanging on. I still got about a finger's worth of head. Let's put a nose on the glass here, and I'll tell you about the aroma. I'm getting a little bit more now. I'm getting a little bit more of that kind of hoppy, citrus hoppiness, and a little bit, it still kind of has a little bit of a malty scent to me, but it's got a little bit more of a citrusy kind of aroma now. And let's go ahead and dive right in. So cheers. All right, yeah, that is definitely a malty IPA. This is I love malty IPAs, so not too malty. You don't want a big malt bomb, but I think with that maltiness adds a little bit of a character to it. So what I'm getting on the taste here is it's got a light mouthfeel. It's nice and crisp. I'm getting kind of that cedary, malty kind of taste, and I'm also getting this piney hoppiness to it, piney bitterness, mixed with that maltiness. And the aftertaste is actually really kind of light. It's a little bit more of the maltiness on the tail end, and the piney kind of citrus, piney hoppiness in there as well. This reminds me actually of a little bit, it's almost a little bit like Two Hearted, but a little bit lighter. It doesn't have such an in-your-face kind of maltiness or, you know, pininess that Two Hearted has, but it's different enough, right? I think it's got a little bit less malty characteristics and a little bit more of the piney characteristics than Two Hearted has. Two Hearted, it's more of that kind of grapefruity, where this doesn't really have that grapefruit kind of bite, but it definitely has the same kind of maltiness that Two Hearted has. So if you're a Two Hearted fan, this is one that you probably want to seek out. I mean, you know, that probably matches a lot of people that are watching this video, because, you know, who doesn't love a good Two Hearted? This is just a really good kind of example of like what I was talking about before with the Midwest IPA. You get that kind of maltiness in there. It's not overly malty, and you get a little bit of that piney bitterness, piney hoppiness that's, you know, the Chinook and the Cascade get to add together. I mean, this is hitting at the perfect time because the weather's starting to get a little bit nicer. You're getting, you know, a little bit warmer weather. This is a really nice, refreshing IPA. And again, and I say this a lot, but, you know, all these breweries are distributing, and they're coming down here all from all over the state to Southeast Michigan. And when I try one from a new brewery or a brewery I haven't tried before, and they really kind of impress me, I really look forward to trying more that they have. And that's the same in the case of Monkey Fist here. I think this is a really good IPA. It's a really good one. First, you know, IPA or first try that I've had from them. I don't know how long they've been around, but this is one that I really like, again, because it's got that kind of Two Hearted vibe, but it's not as heavy. It's not as high in ABV. It's really refreshing and really perfect for the upcoming warmer weather that we're going to see. Monkey Fist, you know, good on you. This is a really great IPA. If you like those malty Midwest IPAs, this is one that you should try out. All right, friends, that has been Peninsula Hopper from Monkey Fist Brewing. If you find yourself in their tap room, let them know that you saw their beer and you heard about it right here. Now, have you had this before? Do you have a favorite Traverse City brewery? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell, because if you like Michigan beer, I'm here twice a week talking about it, Tuesdays and Thursdays every week, all for free for viewers just like you. And you might miss your newest favorite if you're not subscribed and getting those notifications. Now, I'm still looking for a few more questions to round out my upcoming Q&A video, so leave me voicemails or text me at 224-DRAFT-20. I'll pick one of you lucky voicemailers or texters at random to win some Draft Therapy goodies. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by, and remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries wherever they are, and most importantly, don't forget to treat yourself to a little Draft Therapy. Thanks for watching. Cheers.